guys, what's up? Okay, so in this video I'm going to talk to you about how to combat scalp dryness. So I've been experiencing a lot of dry scalp lately, but I figured out how to combat it, and it's a serious issue because when your scalp is really dry, it means that you're not oiling it enough. It's particularly if you have naturally dry hair like myself. It's natural, it's kinky. If you really have kinky hair, you need to have some sort of oil mantle on your scalp. So if your scalp itself is imbalanced and you're not producing enough sebum because your hair is so kinky, it sucks it all up and you just can't produce enough. It's not that you don't produce enough, it's that you're not drinking enough water, you're not eating right. So definitely look into your nutrition so you can produce enough oil. Number one, hydrate yourself, drink enough water. All of that plays into a dry scalp. However, you can really help yourself by physically forcibly moisturizing it with just plain old water and some sort of oil that I'm going to tell you what I use. Okay, so when you want to moisturize your scalp, oil your scalp. That's what I do. I oil it with extra virgin olive oil, castor, and a mix of different butters and things. Okay, so you can use olive oil and you can use shea butter. Shea butter is the number one thing that really locks that baby in. But people think of oiling their scalps and they just oil it with oil. You don't want to do that. You don't want to just put grease on your scalp. Like, even if it's good grease like shea butter, you don't want to just shea butter or olive oil your scalp. That's really not going to do anything. That's going to be like a band-aid on a serious problem. So what you need to do is wet the scalp before you apply your scalp oil. And to do that, you can stand in front of a sink, but that's really cumbersome. I guess you could do that. That's really fast if it's like your sink and you feel really luxurious and it's your vanity and blah blah blah. But if you just don't like staying in front of a sink like I don't, a really nice way to do that is just to carry around a pipette bottle right before you go to bed. I usually grease my scalp before I go to my bed. I say grease so you understand the concept of greasing the scalp. It's not grease though, it's oil. I never use grease. Petroleum does not breathe. Petroleum is not easily absorbed by the skin or scalp and will just sit on top of your hair. And if you just grease your scalp with petroleum, some petroleum based hair food, it's not a good look. It's really not doing anything for you but sitting on top of your scalp and clogging your pores. You really want to use something organic and natural like shea butter mixed with some oils. So what I'll do is I'll get my little pipette bottle, I'll fill it up with water, and then I will proceed to just put it all over. It can get really wet, so you can use a towel, okay? Put a towel over your shoulder and do this. But when you just wet your hands and apply it to your scalp, it typically isn't enough to really saturate the scalp and, you know, get the benefits of that oil, okay? Because you want to lock in that water. So it's just like when you have wet skin and you put on your lotion. You have a wet scalp and you put on your scalp oils. That's all it is. And this little pipette with a small nozzle on top really helps you get everywhere, okay? When you just use your fingers like that, like wet your hands and use your fingers, you really don't get your entire scalp. So you can do this midweek, like once or twice midweek, and it will at least once midweek, and it will seriously help your dry scalp issues. You won't feel the dryness. It won't be like tight. You know how your scalp can feel tight if it's too dry? You won't have that. You won't get any itching. It'll just be really comfortable for you, and I highly recommend that. In turn, it does help your hair grow faster because you are not cutting off your hair with a dry old scalp, a tight dry scalp. Who wants a dry desert scalp with no oil because your hair is so kinky and your diet is bad enough to where it's not really producing as much oil as it should because you're not drinking enough water, you're not eating your vegetables. So all of these things come into play with the dry scalp. You need a good diet and you need to forcibly moisturize your scalp with water. Number one, with that pipette bottle, water, and then you put on your oils and your butters, and especially a butter will really lock that baby in because it's all about locking in the moisture, and it will completely cure seriously it will, unless you have some sort of underlying medical issue, your dry scalp issues. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Later.